Good morning. Good morning. One rental at a time, family. This is your co-host, Jason Pritchard. Today, we've got the roles reversed again. We got our buddy Michael Zuber in the hot seat. How are you doing, Zuber?
I'm doing very well, man. This is something I'd love to talk about. A lot of people are starting to reach out for me on this, right? We just did the first video where we talked about making $1 million. I'm guessing that video has caused a lot of people to say, "Hey, how can I do that?" Because before this week, almost nobody asked. Now that I
Yeah.
tell people I've made $1 million by accident, they're like, "Hey, how can I get some of that accident money?" So
Well,
this is a new conversation.
and this is going to be good for me too, because I definitely have, launching a YouTube channel and kind of getting my story out to a different platform and being able to share it on YouTube as a priority for me. So I'm excited to have this discussion with you. I think you are one of the people that I look up to the most in this space, particularly because of some of the things that we've talked about, man. You've built this channel over time through consistency and hard work and just doing the work like you always talk about. So I think this is going to be a really good video for people like me that have a track record or want to launch something on YouTube. So I'm excited to talk about it, man. So let's just jump right in. So if you're, in my position, or we have a hobby, we have a side hustle, or we've got a business, right, where we feel like we can impact people, where's the launching off point, man, to get the ball rolling with YouTube?
Yeah, so I can only share my story, my experiences, obviously my opinions. I think one of the first things you have to do is you have to commit to YouTube. I think in a world of social media with TikTok and IG and Facebook and all these others, Twitter now, there's a lot of ways to get distracted. Um, I think at least in the beginning, it's 100% YouTube. I think
Hmm.
that's something I got right by accident. It's really because I had no other social media out there, so it's not like I was giving up something. When I
Yeah.
look at you, my opinion only, this is not meant as a negative, but you're an
Yeah.
IG guy, right? That's
Yep.
you're you have perfected that, and you've raised private money off of it, so it's
Yep.
clearly working.
Yep.
I don't think, at least in the beginning, you get momentum on YouTube unless it is the thing.
Hmm.
If you do YouTube and you're still half pregnant with Instagram, because Instagram's already moving, I don't know, because it's like most of the rocket fuels used to get the rocket off the ground an inch, right? So I think that's something I stumbled across that I've seen lots of people go, well, you don't understand. I've already got 20,000 on IG. I got to keep them going. Well, that's just going to slow you down on YouTube. I think that's the first thing.
And a lot of your YouTube content like can be repurposed and repackaged for the other
Exactly.
platforms, right? So you can, instead of, like with me, my approach is we're putting our time and effort and energy into the shorter form content for platforms like IG and Facebook, right? And then the daunting part for me is like I have to put in the work to do that. Now I've got to sit down and create a 15-minute video. It takes me long enough to do some of the shorter form stuff, right? And so your YouTube
Exactly.
stuff can just be repackaged for the other platforms. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And that is the hack, right? Again, I've said this before. I think we have 11,000 videos at one rental at a time, and that's all I ever do. I now am fortunate enough because I have the side hustle money to pay for people to post. I don't know what they do now, 5 or 6 times on Instagram. They post on Twitter. They post on LinkedIn. They post on TikTok. I don't even look at those other platforms other
Hmm.
than IG. I don't look. So yeah, that's a hack and a half. I would focus on 12 to 15-minute content. You have a business. You have everything at your disposal, and
Yep.
then have somebody make clips and keep the other stuff alive. That's what I would do.
So walk me through. Is there a blueprint or some structure that somebody can follow? Like, let's say you do have this vision for wanting to get on YouTube. You do want to launch this. What would you say maybe the first year should look like, right? Because I think a lot of people want to get in and then check the scoreboard of the game really quick, and they haven't put the time and the effort in to really get there, right? So how does that work at the beginning for somebody that has aspirations to do this?
So this is very, very helpful. I've never had this conversation because, again, I was never asked about my YouTube thing, because
Yeah.
most people look at what I do on YouTube and they're like, because I'm not growing as fast as all these other doomers, or they don't even ask. It wasn't until this week where I said I made $1 million that people are asking. So the first thing I would tell you is you have to find a schedule. Is that Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Is it Saturday, Sunday? Whatever is for you, and commit to that and don't miss.
Hmm.
Tell the audience. I propose in the beginning, it's reps. So I would try to do it daily. And maybe for a guy like you, it's Monday through Friday, either what is going on in the day or a day wrap up. And again, it's not your first 100 videos are going to get 12 views, and like 10 of those are going to be your wife.
Yeah.
But it's not about the first 100 videos. It's about the reps and finding your voice and what's resonating. And it is just reps. It's like practicing golf or learning an instrument or learning a new language. It's repetition. I think so many people get lost in making the first video perfect. No one is going to watch your first video. They won't watch your first 10 or 50 videos. Get the reps. So the first thing I would tell someone, and again, I've never had this conversation, is put a schedule down, put it on your calendar, and don't miss.
And you are a stickler for that schedule, and I love it. It's like I'm doing this, and then after like 11 o'clock or 12, it's like lunch with Livia, and I'm done. It's I'm enjoying my life after that. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
So
and then
yeah, keep going. So get the reps, and then what?
So the other thing I would do, and this was a hack. This is probably the best hack I have for someone, especially if you're going to. So there's really two. The first one is, as you're getting your reps in, what will likely happen, or at least happen for me, is I found others that were interested and like-minded. Invite them to be part of your schedule. Jason Pritchard and I will talk every other Sunday at 9 a.m. I will check with him the day before, that not to make sure he's good, and we will just go. So again, I would tell you to find people, and again, find people across the country, right? I got people on the East Coast, in the Midwest. Look for different types, women, different colors, all of this. Make it a place where all are welcome. It is my weekly millionaire series, a happy accident because of Anna Kelly back in the day. That's now 10, 12 different millionaires a week. It was so important to me, and such a hack. I created a brand new website to celebrate them. That is a hack that everybody wants to make YouTube about them. They want to be the guru. They want to get noticed in restaurants. Who cares?
Yeah.
Get people around you, have the conversation, and it just makes content so much easier.
What would you say? Here's a question that popped into my head, right? So I could see for somebody like you, right? You were already established, right? That was one thing that stuck out to me when I first saw your initial videos with you on the couch, right? It was like, who is this guy that has 200 rentals, right? In Fresno. And I need to get to know him. I need to, I want to connect with him and see if there's a way that our businesses overlap. But what about for the people that are much earlier on in their journey, right? That maybe don't have the track record.
I would love to go back and start this the day I found North Stride.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loves a weight loss story.
Yeah.
Own your shit. Own where you are today.
I love it.
Think about Jason Pritchard. I just quit my job.
Yeah.
I've mortgaged out my credit cards. I got a second home. I have no idea if this is going to work. 30 days later, still not working. I'm trying. I'm doing this. Oh, I just met this guy, Alan Folio. Oh, I think there's something there. Oh, I think most people would love to come along the journey with you. That would be awesome.
I love that you said that. And I give that same advice. That's one of the things. I don't have regrets, but I like, if I could go back and maybe change some things, I wish I would have started documenting the from the very first flip, because I probably flipped 50 or 60 houses before I put a camera on myself and was even confident enough to share. But everybody loves the come up, man. That's what I think for me is one of the most interesting, engaging things, right? Like having the confidence to put yourself out there and say, I'm changing my identity. I'm doing something new, right? Like for me, it was going from corporate management and doing this thing to saying, hey, man, I'm just going to chase after my dream and let's just see what happens, man. I think that's probably one of the most engaging pieces that most people miss, because they wait to feel like I'm established before I can have a voice, right?
Yeah.
And so
never front, never pretend. This is not fake it till you make it world. Own your shit. I believe I'm going to be the biggest real estate investor in Fresno. I've just quit my W-2 job. I'm nervous. My wife supports me though. We're going to give it a go. I have 80 grand in the bank to live on. This is what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure it's going to work. Let's go. Yeah. I
love
think the
that,
come
man.
up is important.
So document the come up, right? Be your authentic self. Okay. Get the reps in. Start connecting with and building a community of like-minded people, right? And let it grow. What's next after that?
The biggest one, and I think most people stumble on this one. They chase perfection. I've never worried about perfection. I've always worried about the work. I think most people, you're not. So here's the deal. If you want to grow fast on YouTube, preach doom and fear and have fancy stuff. I think the best analogy I have for this is a sport game, a sporting event. When I think about a sporting event, there are three categories, Jason, and I only service two of them. The largest group of people, in my opinion, are drunk idiots in the parking lot.
Mm.
If you have sexy music and videos and this and that, you will preach to the drunk idiots and you will grow. I don't know that you'll have fun, but you'll grow. I personally, Jason, am not in the convincing business. I don't care about the people in the parking lot. I don't even hear them.
Yeah.
They're not on my radar. I don't service them, and I'm okay with that. And I know I will be smaller because of it. Again, I don't care. Then once you get in the event, there are people in the stands. I care about them. They have spent some money. They got seats. They got popcorn. They've come for a show. I'm trying to reward those people. And then there are people on the court. I am on the court. You are on the court. I'm trying to get 10, 11, 12 other people on the court to talk about what we are doing today so the people in the audience could know. And again, people on the court, I want different sexes, colors, races, ages, all of them, because you just never know who will resonate with who. So again, people in the parking lot care about perfection. Not my crowd. Don't care. The people in the crowd, they're gonna be okay with ums and ahs, and I sneeze every once in a while, and my dog barks. I don't care. I just move, and then I go network with people on the field, and we try to make a difference.
I love that. I love that, man. Great analogy, dude. Don't cater to the drunk fans on the in the parking lot, dude. Yeah,
Dude, the people in the parking lot are so cheap they can't even afford a ticket, but they just want to be around it. I don't care. I want people that got, that are like really committed. So yeah, the drunk idiots are, crash bros and doomers. I don't care about them.
Got it. And so at that point in your journey, right, then now you've got some tractions and things are moving, right? So then what for you, for the people that maybe have already started and are growing their channel, right? Like what's next? How do you determine what's next? How do you kind of continue to see what growth and looks and feels like? Yeah.
That's the fun part, because as long as you've mastered the first three, your audience will tell you where to go. Your audience will tell you what they're hungry for, what they don't like. The audience is like, again, I made $0. I think I made $1,400 in the first year and a half on YouTube. Everything since then, the audience has told me what worked. Just listen to the audience, interact with your audience. I still reply to every comment.
Yeah.
5 years later. Now, I don't have conversations in comments, but I reply to every comment. And yeah, just listen to your audience. They'll tell you where to go. It's amazing. Once you get that initial momentum, the audience takes care of the rest. It's so much fun, Jason. You're going to love it.
Got it. God, that's amazing, man. $1 million, dude. $1 million in 5 years, man. I think that's an awesome goal. I think you now, especially with all the credibility that you have and the track record in this space, dude, it's going to be interesting to see how you can have an impact with people wanting to not just follow the real estate journey, which I think you've done an amazing job now, right? But now I think it's going to be even another chapter on the impact, right? Because I know for you and me, impact is the big thing, right? And we can have impact through our business, but if you really want to spread that out, we have to share that message, right? And that to me, I know is what this is about.
Yeah, and again, I'm seeing it right now. Again, Ryan Pineda, Sean Cannell are the ones that made me even look at this.
Yeah.
I had no idea really that one rental at a time had crossed the $1 million mark, which is still wild to think about. But yeah, just in the last week, this conversation is a great example. I never talked about YouTube or brand or anything until I put that video out. And I think I've gotten 40, maybe 50 messages from people going, tell me more. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Until this week was the real estate guy, one rental at a time guy. Maybe the next 6 months, it's like, hey, this guy's done something, built a brand from scratch, making some serious coin now. Let's go ask him how I could do it. And again, everything I've talked about in this video is not real estate specific. It's not finance specific. It's your passion, your interest, you do you. So I hope more and more people reach out, because it's sitting there right in front of you. I don't believe there's anything about me other than I may be more disciplined than the average person. Then anybody could do this. Now, I'm not promising $1 million, but for how many of you would $3,000 a month make a difference?
Huge. Mortgage payment, and probably a couple of your car loans are paid off with that. Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't need to be. I think That's such a good point, because I think most people look at YouTube and they look at the top influencers and they see these big dollar signs and all this crazy stuff, and it becomes insurmountable. But you don't need to have
No.
100,000 followers, right, to have good financial ROI. I mean, isn't like, yeah, talk about that, right? I mean, like you
That's such a great point, because again, a lot of people look at YouTube and they want to get that silver plaque of 100,000
yeah,
subs. You know, I made probably $500,000 on one rental at a time with less than 20,000 subs.
that's crazy.
It's not, I've never chased subs,
Yeah.
right? I almost never ask for them, right? Shame on me. It's like one of those things I got to get better at, but it's not my thing. But yeah, you could be a really small channel and make a lot of money. I think as we're recording this, I'm under 47,000 and made $1 million.
Wow.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all. Good stuff.
There you go. Well, Jason, I appreciate you. Thank you for asking. Hopefully that helped people realize, again, I believe classic cars, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, tap dancing. I don't care what it is. If you find other like-minded individuals, you don't chase perfection, and you have some schedule, it's right there in front of you. Jason, where can people find you?
Best place to find me, guys, is going to be on social media, either Facebook or Instagram. You can type my name in there, Jason Pritchard, on both platforms. I've got a website if you want to connect with me further and access some of the tools and the resources that we use every day in our core business. It's jasonpritchard.com. Any one of those platforms, guys, feel free to reach out to me. I get a ton of people from the One Rental at a Time community, you know, connecting with me, and I love to answer questions and help you guys when I can. So any one of those places, guys. Yep.
Yeah, go to jasonpritchard.com. I can't believe his giveaways. Pretty crazy he gets that stuff away. So go get it today before he starts charging. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.